Hey y'all, I'm gonna show y'all how to make a peach cobbler. This is a recipe that I have gotten from Gerald's grandmother, and Gerald's my husband. And many years before she passed away, one of her daughters had her. She created this book for all of the grandkids where her name was Geneva, Granny Epler. She went and wrote down in her own handwriting different of her recipes. So this is actually Gerald's grandmother's recipe that I'm using now. She has gone on to and left this world to be with the Lord, but we still have her recipes in her handwriting, which is, I think, is just really neat. My grandmother and my mom, I learned from them, and it was just by memory, which they didn't write anything down. So that was neat that her children done that for all the kids. So anyway, what we're going to do first is we're going to start with the dough. Okay, and so the recipe that I will put in the comments, I'm doubling it for this video, okay? So when you get to looking, you're going to realize that I doubled the recipe, okay? So you will want, if you just want to make just a regular, like 9 by 13 pan, you won't follow this video, you'll follow the recipe that I'm going to put in the comments. Okay, if that's as clear as mud, we'll move on. Okay, so for the dough, we're going to need an all-purpose flour, 3 cups. I know a lot of people measure it perfectly. They get out a knife and scrape off the top and do all that. Y'all, whatever's easiest for me. I don't sift my flour. A lot of people sift their flour. I'm just like, whatever's easiest. Okay, that was 3 cups of all-purpose flour. We're going to do 4 teaspoons of baking powder. Of course, I understand the measurements. You could say, a tablespoon of this and a tablespoon of that. But I'm just going to say 4 teaspoons because I am doubling her recipe. Okay. Now we're going to add a teaspoon of salt. And that won't fit in there, that's fine. Okay. And 2 cups of sugar to the dough recipe. These are half a cup. This is a half a cup, so there's a cup, and there's another cup, so 2 cups. I'm going to mix all of this up. To me, this is the simplest peach cobbler recipe that I have ever made, and it comes out perfect every time. And I'm throwing it all on myself. Okay, so now that we have the dry ingredients mixed in, we're going to work in a cup of shortening. Cup of shortening, okay? Let's see, what I say, a cup. Now, a lot of individuals, and I don't have one, that have in one of those pastry cutters where they cut in their butter, or they cut in their Crisco or shortening or whatever. I'm not that fancy. What I use is a fork. Maybe one of these days I will purchase one of those pastry cutters. I guess I'm frugal. I don't see the need for it when a fork will work just as good. Okay, so we're going to cut in this shortening. I had been wanting to, I've had the recipe on our website for years, and I had been wanting to do a video, and I haven't found the time. Plus, having a peach cobbler around the house is awful tempting, especially when I bought some vanilla ice cream to go on top and put a scoop of that on a hot peach cobbler. Yeah. Okay, I think that looks like a pastry cutter may do it quicker. I guess I've done it the same way for so long. Why change? Why change my method? Huh. Okay, I'm gonna get a cloth here because I have some dough on my hands. Okay. To the dough, we're going to add 2 cups of milk. And I have some milk. Do y'all always smell your milk? I mean, it's in date, but it's like, I gotta smell it. And this must be made for a left-hand person. So what I say, 2 cups of milk. I'm used to just not doing a double recipe, so I've got to check myself. 2 cups of milk. So easy. Y'all are going to be impressed with how easy it is. Mix this in without splashing it all over myself. Okay. I just mix it up really good. Sometimes I get a whisk, which I forgot, which I will grab. You will not get all the lumps out, okay, because the Crisco is clumped together with the flour. So you won't get all the, okay, that is good. See, I mean, it's still lumpy. Okay, I have my dish here, and this one, you know, I need to measure it. It's bigger than a 9 by 12. It's a little bit larger. Does it have a measurement on it? Yeah, hey, Gabe. Well, he may not be able to see it because I barely can see it. I should have looked at it before. It is, well, it would help if it wasn't upside down. It is a 10 by 15. Okay. Didn't even know I had a 10 by 15 pan. I just knew it was bigger than a 9 by 12. It's 10 by 15. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to spray this baking dish really good. Okay. Or you can add butter. Okay. Gerald's grandmother, her recipe she buttered the dish. My mama used to butter the dish, or even take her Crisco in her hand and butter it. But we didn't have sprays back then. I mean, because my mama always took her hand and just grabbed it in the Crisco or the shortening, you know, dish, or the shortening, whatever that's called, can. Okay. So these this is the cobbler part. And I know you're thinking, well, the cobbler on bottom, the cobbler will rise to the top, y'all. I mean, yeah, you're like you know, because you're used to seeing a cobbler with it being on top of the fruit. The cobbler will come up through the peaches. Yeah, that's really yum. Okay, so now we're going to set this to the side because we're going to work on our peaches. And remember, I have doubled the recipe. I have another bowl, but instead of dirtying another bowl, y'all, I'm just going to use this one, okay? I laid out 2 more, but this is actually my biggest bowl. And these are 29-ounce cans. Okay. There's one. Yeah, I still have an old-fashioned opener. I have an electric one that I had, and I put it up for some reason. I don't know if I can't even remember why I put it up. Okay, these are halves. The store did not have slices, so we'll have to go through here and just slice these up. Oh, they smell so good. And to these peaches, y'all, even though you have all this sugary syrup, we're going to add some more sugar. I know. Can't believe the house is quiet. No dogs barking. No air conditioning running. But it won't last long, so. So what we'll do is we will add our sugar to this. We will mix it up, pour it over our dough. You don't stir it in, okay? We're just gonna pour it on top of that dough, and then we're gonna bake it in the oven. My oven right now is preheated to 350. And it will take, normally it takes about 45 minutes, but since I doubled the recipe, it may take a good hour for that dough to get brown and to get done. And that's fine. Yes, it will heat up the kitchen, but it's not something, there goes my oven. It's not something that I bake all the time. And you could use fresh peaches, and then just what you would do is you would boil you some peaches and some sugar, and then pour it over your dough. Because fresh peaches would definitely have to have some sugar. Well, I mean, you wouldn't have to add the sugar, but I mean, you know. What makes a dessert delicious? Delicious sugar. Yeah. But remember, everything in moderation. This isn't something that we fix all the time. And I think I have all the chunks. Smells so good. Okay, so we're going to add our sugar. We will add 1 cup of sugar. And remember, these are all, the recipe has been doubled. If I can reach over there. So that's a half a cup. And that's a cup. I know y'all are thinking, whoa, with the sugar. Yes, I did not say this was a sugar-free dessert. Not at all. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Make sure y'all can watch. We're going to take this dish. Okay. And we're going to pour these peaches on top. And I'm not mixing it in with the dough. I'm just smoothing out the peaches so they're not all in one lump, one spot. Okay, so what I will do now is I will put this dish into the oven, and it may take a good hour. I will let y'all know, and then I'll show y'all the end results. Hey y'all, my peach cobbler is ready. Y'all look at this. Look at this. Oh my goodness, look at that. I think I got too much for my little bowl, didn't I? Let's put that down in there. I'm gonna get some more of this juice. Look at that. Y'all see that? Look at it drip. Am I making y'all want some peach cobbler now? Okay, here's what we're gonna do, y'all. Y'all know we got to have some ice cream. Watch this. Why it's hot. Okay, y'all. Y'all know I've got a taste of it, right? Let's get some ice cream. Oh, it's just melting. Can y'all see that melting? Okay. Y'all, that is so good. Remember, Gerald, that was my husband. This was his grandmother's recipe. So easy. I will put the link in the comments. Look at that peach. We'll cut it in half just in case it's hot. Y'all, you cannot get any better than that. Y'all need to make this recipe. This recipe is actually a double of the one I'm going to put in the comments. But y'all definitely need to try Gerald's grandmother's peach cobbler.